Hi there, boys and girls. Today for handwriting, since we are finished learning about lowercase letters, we're just going to practice and review some parts of a sentence and review. This page is actually about a paragraph. So a paragraph is going to be multiple sentences put together. So you will need your orange handwriting book, and we're going to open it up to page 75. So if you don't have your orange handwriting book or a pencil, please pause this video and go grab those things for me, and we will get started. Excuse me. So before we get started with the actual page, I want to review a couple of things for my friends to remember what kind of things we need in a paragraph. Or in any kind of writing. So I have a little checklist here. Ooh, let's see if I can find my camera. There it is. Okay, so the first thing we have at the top here is a capital letter. Every sentence needs to start with a capital letter. And if you look at your page, you'll see these big W's here, and a big W here, and a big W down here. That's because those are beginning of our sentence. So you have that capital letter, but then the rest of your letters are all lowercase, which is perfect and how it should be. The other thing you'll have is spaces between your words. We always put spaces between our words because that tells us where one word starts and one word ends. So we also can, or we want to make sure that our words aren't squished together and we can read them properly. And the last one, let's see if I can find my camera again. There we go, is punctuation. And you can have any type of these punctuations. You can have a period for just a simple sentence or a statement, an exclamation mark if you're saying something that you're excited about, like I love you, or today is the best day ever. You might put an exclamation point at the end. And then the last one is a question mark. And a question mark is used when you're asking someone a question. And when you ask a question, it means you're looking for an answer. So if you say, how was your day? You're asking a question and you want someone to say back to you, it was a great day. So that's just my little checklist that I wanted to kind of go over with you. And if we look at this first sentence, I want to see if we can check off those boxes. So we have the sentence says, and you can repeat after me, we get on our bus. And you'll see lots of lightning words there. So we get on our bus. So let's see if we can put some check marks on our board and see if our sentence has these things. So the first one says capital letter. Does this sentence have a capital letter at the beginning? Does it have a capital W or a big W? Yes, it does. So we're going to put a little check mark there. The next sentence, or the next thing says spaces. So if we look, here's we. Is there a space for the next word? We, space, get, yep. Space, on, space, our, space, bus. Yep, so it sure does have those spaces. And then at the very end of our sentence, do we have punctuation? Yes, we have a period. Check. So it has all three of the things that our sentence should have. And when you see that period there, we don't just put periods at the end of at the end of a line. Now I know this one's at the end of the line here, but we put a period wherever our sentence actually stops. So if your sentence stops in the middle of a line, that's fine, because you'll see on the next one, if we go down here, we have we ride is the sentence. And you'll notice the sentence ends in the middle of the line. So what did they put there? A period. And that's okay. You can put a period there. It doesn't just have to go at the end. So let's check this sentence and see if it has all the things that a sentence should have. I'm going to erase these check marks. So we have we ride. So do we have a capital W at the beginning? We sure do. Put a little check there. Spaces. Do we have a space between here? We sure do. Check. And do we have punctuation at the end? Yes, we have a period. So check there too. So we checked all those boxes so we know it's a good sentence. And then the last sentence here, the sentence says, we get off. Okay, so let's check our sentence and see if we have all the components of a good sentence. So we have at the beginning, do we have a capital letter here? Yes, we do. Check. Let's see, spaces. We, space, get, space, off. So is there spaces between these three words? Yep. So we're going to give it a check. And at the very end, do we have punctuation? We do. We have a period because it's just a simple sentence or a simple statement. Very nice. So I just kind of wanted to do that and review with you what you should have in each of your sentences. So when you're doing your journal writing or any sort of writing, or, oh my goodness, when you go to first grade and you do all that big writing you're going to do in first grade, just keep these things in mind and remember those things that you need to have to make a good sentence. All right, so we're going to go ahead and on our page 75 here today, we are going to, excuse me, we're going to do what we have in the past. We're going to trace our words, and then we're going to write it on the line underneath. But here you're going to really practice those three things we talked about. You're going to practice the capital letter at the beginning, make sure it's tall, and make sure it goes starts all the way above the line. See how it's way up here? You want to start way up there. And then number 2 is you need to make sure that you have spaces between your words. So make sure you leave some room. You can use a finger space. So sometimes I'll write a word and then I'll put my finger down and then I'll write my other word on the other side. Or in my classroom, we use like little space sticks, little popsicle sticks that you can use to lay down on the paper and then give yourself that room, or even an extra pencil if you have one, whatever you have available you can use to give yourself those, to remind yourself of those spaces. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start writing. Let's see, we'll use pink today. All right, so we're going to trace. So we're going to use a capital letter. So we start above the line. So you're going to go down, up, and then that's our capital letter. But then the rest of the letters are all lowercase. So this E has to be between the lines. We're going to hit the ball, go up and around the bases. And then for today, you can trace this word and then maybe we'll write it underneath. So that way we can kind of get a good example of where the word should be in the line. So we'll come down here and we'll make our big W, start above the line, go up, down, up. Very good. And we're going to make our little E. Hit the ball, go up and around the bases. Good. So we have we. Now we have to leave our space because we always have spaces between our words. And then we're going to trace our lowercase g. And then go down and curve. And then another E. And these are all lowercase letters, remember? Because we only have a capital letter at the beginning of a sentence, or if we're writing someone's name or a proper noun, you can make those capital as well. And you'll learn a little bit more about those proper nouns in first grade. All right, so we have get. Now let's come down here and let's see if we can write it. G, go down, E, and T. Very good, we get. Now we're gonna leave space again. On, O, N, good. And come down here. On is O, N, and you'll see how I'm making sure that these are lowercase letters. And you make sure that, excuse me, that your words have those spaces again, because I want to show you, I'll trace this first. Our, O, U, oops, R, and I hope you're tracing with me because this will be good practice for you too. Now I want to show you, if I don't put spaces between my words, I want to show you what happens. So if I write our right here next to on, O, U, R. Okay, now if you were reading this sentence and you wanted, maybe you didn't know what these words were and you needed to sound them out, you would read, we get, ooh, I don't know that word, and you would sound it out and you would say, on our, and it doesn't really make a word. So it's very important that when you're writing your words, you keep that space between your words, or if you smush them together, people won't be able to read, or you might not even be able to read what that word is, because you might be thinking that you're making a new word or a bigger word when really it should be two separate words. So I'm going to erase this really quick, and I will make sure I leave a space so that I can read it better. O, U, R. And then our last word is bust, and B is a tall letter, so above the line, up, curve around, U, oops, and S. And what do we put at the end of our sentence? Yes, punctuation or a period. So make sure you trace that one, and we're going to write it down here. B, U, S. Oops. And period. Let's fix that S because I didn't write it between the lines. Okay, S and period. All right, there we go. Perfect. Now, if we go down here, we have those two sentences, and you'll see they did put the punctuation in the middle there, and that's okay. That's just telling us that that's the end of our sentence. So we're going to, again, just like we did above, we're going to trace this sentence, we ride. So we, or W, is capitalized because it's the beginning of a new sentence, W, and then the E is lowercase, we, and then go down here, capital W, up, down, up, and then E is lowercase between those lines. And then what do we leave between the words? A space, good. And we have ride, and these are all lowercase letters. I, D, and E. And what do we put at the end? A period. And we don't just have to, that's the end of our sentence. So we don't wait to put the period at the end of the line over here. We actually put it where the sentence ends. So if the sentence is we ride, then we put it right next to the word that it ends with, ride. So we're going to leave a little bit of space, and we're going to write ride, R, I, D, oop, that's a silly D. D and E. And then what do we put at the end? Punctuation or a period. Very good. All right. So I'm going to let you do this last sentence by yourself. And again, you make sure you're practicing just what we did above. And next to it, we're going to trace the letters. We get off. You're going to make sure you have a capital W at the beginning. Make sure you leave that space between your words, and then make sure you put that period at the end, or punctuation. When you're finished, ask your mom or dad or an adult who's with you to double check that you have capital letter at the beginning, spaces between your words, and punctuation at the end. And if you have all those three things, then you did a wonderful job writing your sentences and writing your paragraph. So this is a paragraph because we have 3 sentences or more than one. And then we're going to, your adult or brother, sister, whoever is with you can give you a big check there for doing a nice job. And you can even color your little school bus if you'd like. But that is all for today, and I hope you did a nice job with your writing, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.